Wait your turn in the Mentawais basically means that whoever's been waiting the longest gets the next wave. It doesn't matter how good of a surfer you are. It doesn't matter where you're sitting in the lineup. It doesn't matter what time you got to the waves. Any of that. All it means is that if you've been waiting the longest, the next wave is yours. It works really well in heavy, fast, hollow, shallow waves because if everybody's taking their turns, then you know that you don't have to worry if somebody paddling on your wave, maybe breaking down the section, making a snowball, maybe dropping in on you. All that goes out the window, and all you have to focus on is your wave, your drop, and your barrel. This is something we tell all our guests on day one and something that we enforce in the lineup as surf guides. If there's people not taking their turns, as surf guides, we'll pull them up and let them know that this is not where they're from. This is the Mentawais, and this is how it works. Everyone needs a fair chance. Everyone's here for the same reason. Just as important for everybody is clarity in the lineup as to whose turn it is, and if that person's not going to let everybody know so that no waves are wasted. And also, if it's your turn and you miss your wave that you paddled for, that's it. You go to the back of the line. Nobody likes to have someone who keeps paddling and missing waves and think that they're on the next one. So that's also important to remember. If you're going to paddle for a wave and it's your turn, make sure you catch the wave. Don't ever drop in for revenge or for any reason for that matter. The Mentawai Islands are a long way from anywhere. All the waves break over a sharp, shallow reef, and by stuffing somebody up on the reef, you're endangering their lives, full stop. You can't imagine how bad you would feel if you stuff somebody up on the reef and they really seriously injured themselves and ruined their holiday, if not worse. So if you find that you have a beef with somebody, talk to your surf guide first and try and sort it out that way. And if it's not working or you don't have a surf guide, then try and talk to the person civilly and sort it out before somebody gets hurt. One of my biggest pet peeves is a snowball created by somebody who's paddled for a wave that I'm on, and I see it all the time out here. That's one of the worst things you can do to somebody who's trying to make a section. This goes along with waiting your turn, and basically if somebody's paddling for a wave and it's their turn, don't even look at the wave. Let them have it. If they don't catch it, that's their turn, they're done, but at least they've had a chance to catch a wave without having anybody else break down the section on them. Don't get in the way can involve a couple situations, the worst of which is trying to surf down the line on a wave and have somebody paddling back out. Paddling for the shoulder and getting right in your way, especially if you're considering getting barreled. The proper way to approach paddling out, if there's somebody already on the wave, is to paddle for the part of the wave that's already broken, not paddling for the open face. This kind of takes you out of the equation of possibly being hit or run over by that person or putting them in danger of having to negotiate their way around you. The other way you could get in the way is by being under somebody when they're trying to catch the wave, and again, just stay out of the way. One of the particularly nasty injuries that we've seen in the past is for guys to scrape their knuckles on the reef when they're duck diving. So it makes sense to get used to duck diving in the Mentawais by keeping your hands open on the top of your board until you've pushed down underneath the wave and then grab your board to come up the other side. For bigger waves, it's better to bear hug your board, to wrap your arms completely around it and hold on, because another injury is having the board hit you in the head because you're not used to how much power is in the ocean. Another mistake people make is if they're caught inside and they want to bail their board, they forget about their board and they dive down head first. I recommend against both of these things. If you're going to bail your board, make sure that the board is parallel with the falling lip so that your board doesn't get broken. And when you do dive down feet first and not head first, because sometimes you can't see the bottom and you don't know how deep it is. A lot of people ask about board sizes and lengths and volumes and all this, and the main thing for the Mentawais is just catch the wave. Bring a board that will enable you to at least catch the wave, and once you've caught the wave, you can think about some other things, turning maybe, or getting a barrel maybe, but if you haven't caught the wave, you're not going to have a chance to do any of those things. And nobody really cares how hard you rip, especially if you're going over the falls. I've seen quite a few injuries, people ejecting off the back of the wave. This is dangerous. You've got a leg rope that is flexible, and your board can fly back and nail you when you least expect it. Also, if you're going that high off the back of the wave, your board can land before you do, which means landing on top of your board. And there has been some very serious injuries out here due to this. So if at all possible, pretend you don't have a leg rope at all and do not fly off the back of the wave. The sun is definitely your enemy out here, especially people show up our high season in their winter, which means they come here very white and unprepared. Especially the backs of your legs and your lips seem to be two places that people forget, which will get fried and possibly ruin your holiday. Booties are essential in the Mentawais. I wear them every single day at every surf. If you're caught inside and a big set's coming, or you lose your board, it goes to the beach, you're going to be really happy you've got your booties. Your surf guide should be able to stitch you up, but you don't really want to go there. So always wear your booties. It's amazing to me in this day and age, with the culture of liability, that we still have surfboards with sharp noses and sharp fins. The majority of serious injuries I've seen over the years have been from fins and noses, so if you're smart, you're going to sand those down before you arrive on your surfing holiday. Not diving off head first is pretty logical, but you'd be surprised how many people continue to do it. You're surfing over a shallow reef. Don't jump off head first. Staying high and tight is something that I will say multiple times on every trip. Guests have a tendency when they're pulling into the barrel to let themselves drift a little bit too low, getting taken out by the lip. This is probably one of the most common surfing mistakes I see. So if you're going to go for the barrel, make sure you get really high up on the face and keep your body really in a tight position so that you can make it through those sections.